Shalom, King David here once again. Welcome, Jew and Gentile. I thought I'd come on here and read the recap for you for today. For those who haven't got access to certain social medias. Okay, so Commentar Pro. This is basically the truth in a nutshell and my testimony. Commentar Pro, FBI operation prevention of a black messiah. The very people who were made prisoners of war. If you go to type in H1961 Strong's Concordance, it gives you your creator's name. It gives you the original wording. Okay, so go to Exodus chapter 3 verse 14 in the Strongs, and you'll see it says higher, where it says Lord or God now. Okay, which is Paleo Hebrew, which is the oldest form of Hebrew. Okay, people. I am a descendant of the Jacobites. Etymology of this is sons of Jacob from the Bible, whose name was changed to Israel. We are the Israelites. Webster's 1828 dictionary definition of what an American is: the copper-coloured tribes found there by the Europeans. Christopher Columbus took a Paleo-Hebrew Aramaic interpreter to communicate with the copper-coloured tribes already found there. The Aztecs, the Incans, and the Mayans. That was you. Webster's 1828 dictionary definition of what an American is. My family were the Jews massacred in 1391 by the Paleo tribes, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, of Aragon, and expelled in 1492 by Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Aragon. Yeah, one of Henry VIII's. He married one of their daughters, Catherine of Aragon. I urge you to read, fast, pray, call upon the true living Creator, higher. Honestly, fasting is amazing. It works, man. Israel split into two kingdoms. So go to 1 Kings chapter 11 verses 31 to 35. You can read about it in our historical document, the Bible. It talks about how we split into two kingdoms. The southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin and Levi, went to Europe. We became known as the Moors, who ruled Iberia, Spain and Portugal. The 10 tribes stayed in the Americas. It used to be called India Superior, where Prester John, aka King David, used to reign from. The Portuguese searched for Prester John for 500 years. They have a plaque up in remembrance for this search for Prester John. I am here to bring the two kingdoms back together under the true Messiah, myself, the reincarnation of David, King of Israel. April the 8th last year, there was a solar eclipse on my birthday. This was the revealing of the Most High's anointed one. Wasn't last year, it was 2024, almost 2 years ago now, sorry. The revealing of the Most High's anointed one. Also, a solar eclipse in 2017 across America, which is Babylon. This X was created across Babylon, and this is destruction to the wicked. Okay. This is my YouTube channel, Ministry of Justice YouTube. Also go to Zedekiah King David Ministry YouTube for older lessons, man. Never taking donations like the corrupt preachers out there who've been set up by wicked Babylon to purposely deceive you. Me and my people are the true nobles and sovereigns. We were made prisoners of war, and a straw man was created to steal our lands and estates. To this very day, they use the Admiralty law, the law of the sea. They use a birth certificate, and this is theft, and we want restitution. That's the restoring of what was stolen from us prisoners of war. The earth is flat, as the Bible states. Check out the United Nations logo. It's a flat earth map mocking you in plain sight. Check out old maps of flat earth. Also, space is water. The people who run the colonies are hiding more land past the Antarctic ice wall, which encompasses our realm. On NASA's website, they admit to fly an aircraft it's over a non-rotating flat plane. The Crusades were against me and my people. They used the doctrine of discovery, which justified the colonisation of the indigenous lands. That's why they attacked me, dragged my name through the mud, because they knew that I was destined to come forth, assigned by the living Creator to come and tell this truth, man, for my people, to redeem us a second time, as Scripture states. The Romans, who are Esau, took the teachings of reincarnation out of the Bible. They added a new fake testament and a fake Messiah, JC, who is based of Apollo. The Old Testament is a historical document focusing mainly on the people of the book, the Afro-Asiatics, who are Shem. That's me, my people. We are the Israelites. Who the Israelites come through, Shem. The Ashkenazi Jews are not the real Jews. They come through the line of Japheth, not Shem, as it states in Jeremiah Genesis chapter 10 verses 2 to 5. They are anti-Shemitic and are committing identity theft on a grand scale. They are the Khazars hand over your mouth Zionists. They run Hollywood and are rich because they stole our property. They are barbarians, the Paleo tribes from the north, as scripture states in Jeremiah chapter 50 verses 41. They overthrew Rome, who was so-called black, who gave you the New Testament, which is fake. The Paleo tribes took over the idea of JC, the fake Messiah, and he went from so-called black to white. We used to follow the Hebrew calendar. When we got took over and made prisoners of war, and I'd come out, get my family out of Scotland, they forced us to forget our old ways, and we now follow the Gregorian calendar. There was 3 major chronological time shifts. The oppressor added 1,000 plus years to the original timeline. Please read Daniel chapter 7 verses 25. Reincarnation is part of the human cycle. We have all been reincarnated. I am the reincarnation of David, King of Israel, the Anointed One. Some scriptures in relation to reincarnation. Psalm 71 verse 20, Psalms 21 verse 4, Isaiah 53 verse 10, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 14. Will these dry bones live? Yes, we have all been reincarnated now in these end times, and David is destined to be seated once again on my throne, as scripture states. Isaiah 11, chapter 11 verse 11. Second Exodus led at my ministry. Hosea 3 verse 4 and 5. In the end times, the children of Israel, the Afro-Asiatics, will seek higher, and David, their king, who will be raised up to you. Please bear in mind my birthday, April the 8th, and the solar eclipse on 2024. Also, my anointing, age 11, and the FBI operation Prevention of a Black Messiah. They, the oppressor, the ones who took us prisoners, use Papa Bulls, Latin for public declarations, which are written and empowered by man. These public declarations were written by their wicked popes. One main one to focus on is Dundee verses 1452, which put my people into perpetual servitude, which means slavery forever. They also wrote the Doctrine of Discovery, which enabled them to rape, rob, and murder us to this very day. They stole our lands. I was sexually abused age 11 in 1996, first by my mother, and also the hazy abuse in the House of 39, who, when my nanny Lily died, claimed to have had a mini breakdown. Her words: she sexually abused me, then allowed a convicted rapist to come and live with her and her 4 children, and he went on to sexually abuse me many times, and he worked for the Royal Mail and had a group of wicked friends who also sexually abused me. I was sick of the abuse, so the only place I could go to, where my mother taught me to go to, was the JW Court elders. They also went on to abuse me. So JW elders went on to abuse me. They tried to kill me because they smashed my head off the fireplace, man. Trust me, they're wicked as fuck, man. 27 years later, at the time, when I went to the police and told them about the historical child sex abuse, it all came flooding back. And one day, and I went to get justice from Babylon. However, I've had strong beliefs after dealing with my case has personal links to JW, so it's very corrupt. And it's a shame, man, because, you know, where's the justice? Do you understand? There's Freemasonry. I'm not saying that all people part of secret societies are bad. I'm saying that a particular group are bad, and they use the secret societies to their advantage in most circumstances. You understand? And they also drag my name for the mud, man. So basically, there's Freemasonry, secret societies, brotherhoods in the JW, in the Royal Mail, and definitely in the Slave Patrol, which was set up in the 1700s, in the North Carolinas to stop runaway prisoners of war, to establish a system of terror in response to prisoner of war uprisings. So the same barbarians who took us over are dealing with my case with pure corruption. They gang stalk us, throw helicopters over me, my special needs son, causing him to break down and become upset. So basically, making it difficult for us, basically. This is a bit about the Keskuvi Act 1666. So London 1666, during the Black Plague, the Great Fires of London, Parliament enacted an act behind closed doors called the Keskuvi Act 1666. The act being debated was to subjugate the rights of men and women, meaning all men and women were declared dead, lost in at sea, operating in the Admiralty law, the law of the sea. The state of London took custody of everybody and their property into a trust, and that state became the trustee husband, holding all titles until a live living man comes back to reclaim all those titles. And I'm here to reclaim the stolen property. We are just numbers to them. Stocks on the stock market. They deal with us with a straw man within his corrupt, which is corrupt and theft. They legally use a different language to be set apart from you. That's why you need legal representation in this matrix, because they deal with your straw man, not with the real you. The police are just a corporation. They're privately run. They have so many so-called black prisoners of war to lock up each week, targets to meet, and money not backed by anything, currency to make. But not all police are bad. There are some that complain about their bad colleagues, you understand? So we have to always remember there's good and bad within all groups. Enslaved prisoners of war used as collateral for mortgages. This society was not made for me and my people. My mum allowed a convicted rapist to come and live with us as kids. My mum's friends, my mum and his friends and the JW elders and the Hayes Abuser House of 39 sexually abused me. A wicked homeless man who was a convicted rapist apparently raped a woman at a nightclub. He was arrested at our property. This drew attention to my mum's abuse, and she pulled me aside and told me not to say anything to the social worker or police, as they were due to come and speak to me and my siblings, as he raped a woman and was a convicted rapist. So I kept quiet about all the abuse, and also turned to binge drinking also for a long time. Roll on all these years later, I've been shunned by the very mother who sexually abused her own son and allowed others to also. Okay, people. All nations are against Israel. Psalms 83 verses 5 to 6. Let Israel be remembered no more. Ezekiel 37 verses 22. Israel will become one nation. Verses 25. David, me will be your prince forever. You say natural disasters, but no. Higher is collapsing with colonies. Remember, he is the host and we are but tenants.